Thank you for joining us here today. We're the 2017 Alumni Evaluators from Scarborough Village, here to talk to you about our findings from our 3-month research project. Our report examines the impact that the YouthLink Scarborough Village Pathways to Education program had on the academic, personal, and professional lives of alumni from the 2013 to 2016 graduating cohorts. Our report also provides recommendations to encourage alumni engagement and enhance program delivery for current and future students. Prior to the launch of the Scarborough Village Pathways program in 2009, there were many challenges surrounding the education of Scarborough Village youth that contributed to the lack of success they were experiencing after high school. The various factors included a lack of public schools in the community, lack of community-based programming, a lack of academic and social support, poverty and hidden poverty, as well as misinformation regarding post-secondary requirements and alternative opportunities. The role that Pathways has undertaken in reversing the effects of living in Scarborough Village has been a success over the past 8 years. For the study, just over 300 graduates were recruited through email, Facebook, or by telephone. In order to participate in the study, students must have successfully graduated from the Pathways program. The 2017 graduating cohort was not included in the study since they were the most recent graduating class who are still transitioning from life after high school, making them unable to answer questions that we would have for post-Pathways. Other participation limitations can be found in the report.
So the first part of the study consisted of a survey that was created to assess alumni experiences throughout the program in the 4 pillars, including academic, financial, advocacy, and social support. Another section was dedicated to the post-Pathways experiences, assessing what they learned or would have liked to learn during their participation in the program. This dissertation was also an opportunity to be able to gain insight on how the alumni are also doing after participation in the Pathways program. The second part of the study was conducted using a qualitative approach through focus groups and semi-structured interviews. There were a total of 2 focus groups and 8 semi-structured interviews out of the 67 eligible participants. The semi-structured interviews were one-on-one or either done on the phone or in person. Based on the survey results, of the 67 alumni who completed the survey, about 77 of the participants agreed to some degree that the assistance provided to them by the tutors attributed to their overall academic success. When focus group participants were asked to identify one key type of support Pathways provided in contributing to their high school successes and opportunities, the majority of the focus group participants indicated tutoring. It should also be noted that 15% did not attend the tutoring sessions. Some potential reasons for this may include that these students did not seek out academic support or achieve the minimum grade of 70%, in which case the students can be exempt from tutoring. This suggests that tutoring is more beneficial for students who require the assistance. In regards to the tutor's understanding of course content, approximately 80% of the respondents agreed that tutors were knowledgeable about the topics they needed help with, and very little disagreed. About 27% of the alumni felt that their tutoring experiences would have improved with more knowledgeable tutors. This further suggests that recruiting or hiring specialized tutors can provide students a more valuable and effective tutoring experience. When alumni were asked to indicate which improvements in regards to tutoring would have enhanced their tutoring experiences, the following 3 were highly suggested: one-on-one tutoring, a quiet space, and reservations with specialized tutors. This indicates that students prefer one-on-one interactions with specialized tutors for a more tailored and student-specific approach. The high preference for one-on-one tutors indicate the number of students in need of assistance exceeds the numbers of tutors available.
So taking all of this information in, we have a few recommendations for tutoring. The Pathways program should consider implementing one-on-one tutoring, preferably by alumni once or twice a week, so that students can actually create a connection with their tutors and learn better. Also, providing students with an option to book tutors based on the tutor's availability through an online scheduling system would give students the freedom to choose their tutors based on their own preference and availability. Additionally, many alumni requested quieter spaces, and so offering a separate room or a different space for students who require that quiet space would be helpful. Lastly, online tutoring is a request that was made by some alumni, which may be a solution in reducing tutor volunteer attrition, as it also allows tutors to be able to support students without being there physically. It would be more convenient for both tutors and students since it would be affordable, and one of the ways that it could be done is by using Adobe Connect.
According to the survey results, all the respondents agreed that the financial assistance they received from Pathways motivated them to attend the program, and about 90% agreed that TDC tickets motivated them to go to school as well as attend all their classes. When alumni were asked how their participation would change if bus tickets were not provided, some of the participants responded by saying, I would have skipped more if there were no bus tickets, and others said that without bus tickets, I think I would probably lean towards not going to school because I can save $1 or $2. This suggests that providing TTC bus tickets not only reduces financial burdens for students and their families, but it also plays a significant role in maintaining a good attendance record in school, while also encouraging students to be active participants of the program. Now, many focus group and interview participants found that the scholarship gave them a sense of financial security when applying for programs or when OSAP was not available on time. Furthermore, 90% agreed that the Pathways Canada scholarship encouraged them to maintain good grades in school, and almost all focus group participants and interview respondents discussed the positive impact that the scholarship had on their lives. In terms of financial assistance, while it was highly successful, there were still a few improvements that could have been made. So financial assistance becomes the main focus for alumni as they transition into university or college, and many become confused about how to access their scholarships. So by creating a frequently asked questions page that outlines ways to access the scholarship, how to navigate through the scholarship website, and any other common questions they have can reduce the amount of redundant questions that staff are asked. The Pathways program should also consider conducting mandatory workshops to guide students in their last year of high school on post-secondary and OSAP applications prior to their individual specialty mentoring meetings that are related to these tasks. It's also recommended that the Pathways program integrate workshops that aim to educate students on money management, which can include learning how to set and maintain a budget, how to reduce debt, and how to maintain a good credit score.
So moving forward with the SPSW and the Pathways stuff, when alumni were asked if they were satisfied with the personal relationship that they had with their SPSW, over 80% of the participants were satisfied and agreed. Throughout the research, it was evident by the data that was collected that their SPSW's engagement with the students influenced their self-development. This is primarily due to the strong support that they received during tutoring, and from their SPSWs, including specialty mentoring for their secondary and post-secondary academic aspirations. Moreover, as shown above, when it comes to having their needs for emotional support satisfied, over 76% of the participants. Additionally, only about 21% of the alumni found that the question was not applicable to them. It is possible that these respondents could not have connected with their staff on an emotional level. In regards to the familial support that they received throughout their Pathways experience, 65% of the respondents were satisfied with the support they were provided with. However, 33 respondents who indicated that this was not applicable to them. Over 81% of the respondents agreed to their needs and social support being satisfied.
This evaluation has brought on awareness to the lack of independence students have after leaving the program. As indicated by the focus group discussions, majority of students in the Pathways program heavily relied on the direct assistance from their from their SPSWs. Therefore, it's recommended that staff should focus on providing more guidance on difficult tasks rather than exact instructions. To give students the opportunity to learn and develop the capacity to complete similar yet unfamiliar tasks in the future. It's also crucial that this is implemented while students are participating in the program to reduce students' reliance on the Pathways program after graduating. Students should be encouraged to be active participants in specialty mentoring, as it provides them the opportunity to learn the importance of self-reliance. The Pathways program should also consider emphasizing that to students that although the program is implemented to provide support to students, students should take initiative in making smart decisions in their life without the dependency of the program. Furthermore, as indicated by the survey results, most alumni found their relationship with their SPSW to be satisfying despite the varying numbers of SPSW per student throughout their time in the program, while some students preferred the option to choose their SPSW. The program can implement an SPSW student meet and greet where students are given the opportunity to meet and briefly chat with all SPSWs. Students can then rank their top 3 choices of SPSWs that they wish to be matched with to better ensure a comfortable student SPSW relationship. While 70% of survey respondents agreed to some degree that mentoring sparked new long-term interests, which were later pursued outside of the program, a notable 28% actually disagreed to this. A majority of focus group and interview participants agreed that group mentoring was very interactive and encouraged them to meet new people. Moreover, about 67% of respondents strongly agreed, and almost 30% of respondents agreed that mentoring assisted with applying to post-secondary. Some participants discussed how the opportunity to attend campus tours offered through specialty mentoring helped significantly in gaining insight about the environment of post-secondary institutions. When respondents were asked if specialty or community mentoring assisted them with completing the following: community service hours, financial literacy, determining educational goals, financial aid assistance through OSAP, scholarship applications, exploring career options, and finding or maintaining employment. About 43% strongly agreed and 47% just agreed that mentoring assisted them with determining educational goals. Furthermore, a majority agreed that mentoring assisted with applying to OSAP, and some participants in the focus groups also expressed their frustration regarding OSAP as they still struggle with the application process despite receiving help during their time in the program. This demonstrates that when receiving assistance on certain tasks throughout the program, students are not learning all the skills that are meant to be developed, and instead they depend on the direct assistance of Scarborough Village Pathways staff to accomplish this. Also, the constant participation in mentoring leads to the development of mentor-mentee relationships. So survey results also showed that about 32% of respondents strongly agreed, while almost 60% agreed to developing trusting and meaningful relationships with their mentors, and very few disagreed. While mentoring allowed alumni to develop transferable skills, results show that respondents would have liked to explore 3 major life skills. This includes financial literacy, interpersonal skills, and time management. The mentoring program, which aims to build a personalized skill set, has allowed youth to develop and enhance many skills. However, there are a number of alumni that have expressed their need for more skill building. Students are highly dependent on staff in the program to help them get through post-secondary application processes, which later become problematic when alumni need to complete the process on their own, such as when they're reapplying for OSAP. One solution is to allow students to experience the process on their own with minimal direct assistance, as well as challenging them to ask the questions rather than answering before they even ask. A significant amount of alumni expressed a strong interest in learning more about financial literacy from their mentors. And one solution to this problem may be to just conduct financial literacy workshops or mentoring sessions to teach students about money management. Possible themes to explore in these workshops include, but are not limited to, savings accounts, OSAP or loan repayment, and learning about taxes. Some other popular skills students felt they lacked were good time management, interpersonal skills, and while the program does work to include these skills to students indirectly through various programs, including tutoring and mentoring, a more direct approach may reap more benefits. So time management workshops or mentoring sessions may be especially useful for senior students who will soon be graduating and moving on to post-secondary endeavors. These workshops can consist of tips for managing time and staying organized, as well as activities that encourage time management. It might also be helpful to invite past graduates from the program to these sessions to talk about their experiences and give students strategies that they themselves found useful. Next, including more job shadowing opportunities for students to gain insight from professionals in their field of interest. Also give students a realistic idea of what specific jobs pertain, allowing them to better explore their future job interests.
So moving on to experience post-Pathways, a majority of alumni feel that their experience was satisfying and prepared them for life after high school. However, there are approximately 12% who disagreed with this statement. This shows that upon graduation, when students stop receiving formal support, an issue is raised. After graduating, students lacking a transitional process become more independent rather than reliant on the program and the staff. When alumni were asked to indicate the kind of assistance that they would have liked to receive upon graduation, respondents agreed that they would have liked to receive more assistance accessing the scholarship funds. Some respondents agreed that they needed more assistance when applying for post-secondary. Others responded saying that they needed assistance when navigating through post-secondary institutions, also needing more assistance with resume building and needing assistance with social support. This may also suggest that while in the program, students are heavily reliant on receiving assistance rather than learning how to navigate through the tasks themselves. In terms of keeping alumni connected, the survey results indicated that about 70% of respondents agreed that the Pathways Alumni Network did keep them connected, where approximately 8% disagreed and 15% strongly disagreed, while another 10% didn't know that it even existed. So some of the recommendations that we have concerning the Alumni Network are to assist recent graduates in learning about the opportunities, and one of the ways to do this would be to establish a Scarborough Village specific alumni network that would provide a platform for Scarborough Village alumni to stay updated and engage further with the program even though they've already graduated. This network would also be effective in keeping an updated registry of students and contact information. The Scarborough Village specific network should be run primarily by alumni with the support of the specialty mentoring team in order to bridge a relationship between alumni and current students. This could also lead to the creation of a mentor-mentee network, providing current students with the opportunity to ask alumni questions, develop relationships, and begin the transition from being an active Pathways student to becoming an active Pathways alumni. Another method for keeping graduates connected is by developing a website or a mobile app or a physical mail system. The following are features that could be used for the mobile app or website. News, which would provide graduates with updates about the program, a personal area where graduates can view the personal details from the program, such as their scholarship funds that are still available. Also, My Location, which provides graduates with updates about Scarborough Village, Opportunities, which provides job, volunteer positions, and event invitations. And for the mailing system, Scarborough Village alumni have stated that they would prefer to receive updates through mail since they're already used to receiving updates in this way. It's also a more proactive method for reaching out to alumni since the app would be dependent on the alumni checking it periodically. Additionally, hosting an annual barbecue promptly after the Pathways graduation would create an opportunity for recent graduates to meet the alumni and the Pathways staff who will be interacting with them through the alumni network. So a barbecue may be more helpful to network and recruit participants. Alumni are closest to the program after graduation, which would make that an ideal time to connect them with older alumni. It is also recommended that Pathways Canada staff attend to introduce the new alumni to the Pathways Canada Alumni Network. Lastly, checking in with alumni at least once after high school to gauge their perception of the program and assess it would help the students transition to post-secondary life.
So as we were going through the research process, there was a few limitations in regards to the procedures taken to conduct this evaluation. One of the limitations is the respondent recruitment process, as the email database used to recruit the graduates consisted of outdated email address and other contact information that was also included. This study is limited by the sample size. Given the amount of graduates from the YouthLink Scarborough Village Pathways to Education program from 2013 to 2016, which is over 300 alumni, only 67 participants responded to the online survey, and only 13 alumni participated in the focus group and interview process. This ultimately affected the results of the research by limiting their generalization. Furthermore, through the focus group discussions, one-on-one semi-structured interviews, and surveys, this study relies on self-reported data, which may be a potential source of bias. Selective memory is required, as most of the research requires alumni to remember past experiences or events. In instances where alumni are unable to recall past experiences, they were given consistent examples to trigger their memory. It is difficult to overcome this limitation, as the outcomes of this research significantly relies on the subjective experiences of alumni. Additionally, it should be noted that participants were motivated by the incentives provided for participating in the study, causing an eccentric incentive bias ultimately resulted in less reliable results.
Lastly, checking in with alumni at least once after high school to gauge their perception of the program and assess its success in helping the students transition to post-secondary life is recommended. Overall, the results of the study have concluded that participation in the Pathways program have been successful in regards to the academic, personal, and professional lives of alumni. However, upon further research, we have concluded that there is room for improvement.